Welcome to another opportunity for contemplative prayer offered by the Angela Merici Center for Spirituality, a ministry of the Ursuline Sisters of Louisville, Kentucky. As many of you may know, we offer Taizé prayer on the second Monday of the month via our Facebook page and our website. Now we are offering another opportunity for contemplative prayer on the fourth Monday of the month. This will rotate between a guided meditation, Lectio Divina, and the Examen. Today we begin with a guided meditation. Meditation as a prayer form helps us to quiet our minds and hearts and to open ourselves to the presence of God. A Russian mystic, Theophan the Recluse, taught that prayer is descending with the mind into the heart, and there to stand before the face of God, who is ever present and always loving within you. A guided meditation is just that, a form of meditation guided by a facilitator, using images to give our minds something to focus upon and to support our openness to God. What do you need to do? Well, first, just come with the intention of being open to God's presence. And then find a quiet place where you can be alone for the next few minutes. Just turn off the TV, turn down the soft music, put your phone in the other room. Find a comfortable place where you can sit, holding your back erect but relaxed. You don't have to be stiff. Having your feet on the floor so your legs don't fall asleep. Your hands can be on your lap or on the arms of your chair, palms up or palms down, your eyes open or closed, whatever feels most comfortable to you. So, having prepared, let's begin as St. Ignatius of Loyola instructed his followers to begin every opportunity for prayer, by remembering that you are loved infinitely and unconditionally by the Creator of the universe, a love that goes beyond our imagination. Let us recall St. Paul's words also, that there is absolutely nothing that can separate us from God's love. So let's just take a moment to bring that reality into our conscious awareness. The first thing we do as we begin our meditation is to focus on our breath, something that is with us all the time. Just notice the natural rhythm of your own breathing. Breathing in, notice how your chest rises a little bit and the little bit of tension that is there right before you exhale. And then as you breathe out, notice how your chest and shoulders relax and fall. And that as you become quieter, you might even hear the sound of your own breathing. And then notice that slight pause before you breathe in again. You might also become aware of that place where you first feel the breath enter your body, perhaps at the very tip of your nostrils or back down a little bit further into your throat. Becoming aware of your breathing can help you begin to settle down. We can often be like that jar of pond water that is all murky and muddy until you let it just sit on a table. And eventually the sediment will settle down and the water becomes much clearer, even transparent. Let's take a moment now to continue to quietly notice our breath, allowing it to become an anchor for each present moment. As you focus on your breathing, you might notice your mind wandering from first one thought to another. That's absolutely normal. The practice is that when you become aware of the wandering, you gently bring your focus back to your breath without judgment or criticism. This is going to happen over and over again, and it's all right. Simply become aware and bring your attention back to your breath, a mantra, or an image. Having allowed your breath to quiet and still you, to anchor you in this present moment, I invite you now to engage the wonderful gift of your imagination that God has blessed us each with. Our meditation today is taken from 1 John 4:16, as read from the Message. We know it so well. We've embraced it, heart and soul, this love that comes from God. God is love. When we take up permanent residence in the life of love, we live in God and God lives in us. Using the eyes of your heart, your imagination, I invite you now to see the light of God's love that surrounds and enfolds you. The first thing that God created out of love was light. This might be a warm and gentle light that comforts and reassures. It might be an intense, bright light that energizes. It might be invisible, doing the mysterious work of God. See this light all around you, in front of you and behind you, above you and below you, to your right and to your left. If you allow it, the light of God's love will also infuse you, soaking through the pores of your being as a dry sponge soaks up water. Imagine your whole being like that sponge, absorbing into the deepest, darkest places of your heart the light of God's infinite and unconditional love. The same is true of our breath. Our spiritual ancestors tell the story that it was God's breath that enlivened us. God's love is born on the wings of the air in which we breathe. Now imagine breathing in God's love with each breath you take. Breathing in God's love. Breathing in God's love. Breathing in God's love. As you continue to breathe in God's love, allow each breath to carry you down into the deepest part of yourself. Each breath transporting you down deeper and deeper, taking you down into the cave of your heart, where the seed of God is planted within you. It is here that the breath of God's love and the light of God's love meet to enliven the seed of God planted within your heart of hearts. God's love will enrich the soil of your heart so that the seed of God can send down deep roots and grow strong, able to withstand hardships, anxieties, and temptations that you experience. God's love will enliven the seed of God, bring it to life, and make it grow. It will nourish and keep it well watered, even when the seasons of your life feel dry and arid. God's life-giving love will bring that small seed of God within you to bear fruit, a fruit that only each one of us can produce, a fruit the world needs and desires. I invite you now to a period of 8 to 10 minutes of silence, allowing the light and breath of God's love to flow into the deep cave of your heart, to do what it needs to do to enliven, nourish, and grow the seed of God within each one of us. And remember, when you find your attention wandering, just gently bring your focus back to your breath, a word such as love, or God is love, or an image that you heard just now. So let us now begin our time of silence. As we bring our time of silence to a close, let's just take a moment to express our gratitude within our own hearts to God who loves us so fully. And to remember that even though we come out of this time of silence, that God's love, the seed of God that is planted within our hearts, is always with us. We cannot escape it. And so whenever you need to, you can bring your mind down into the cave of your heart and there to stand before the face of God, who is ever present and always loving within you. We hope and pray that this has been a time of great comfort to you, encouragement, support, that you will receive what you need and desire from this time. Thank you for joining us. God bless.